Hey guys, this is Cindy and I'm working on signatures for my next journal, and I had decided I'm going to put some bias tape along the edges of these pages. This is from a book and it's fairly sturdy page, but I've got some from magazines that are not as sturdy, so when you put some bias tape or something along the edge, it kind of makes it gives it more stability. So I'm going to work on that, so I just thought I'd turn the camera on and give it a try. This page, like I said, doesn't really need it, but you know, this kind of blank on the side, so we'll give it some color. So maybe we'll use this orange. And this is just some orange bias tape I had. I'm not sure. I had some other, and I don't know. It was different. It was like it was just half this. So I don't know if someone cut it in half down through that where that's already the folds at. I don't know if you can see that. And I guess you could, and you'd have two smaller ones. And let me just show you. Okay, here's one I did earlier. See how the orange is the same side on both? So I'm thinking someone cut that, and I didn't realize. I just had, you know, got it at a yard sale, so it was already cut. But on this one, which I did earlier, it's got a small side of the bias tape on this side, and then on this, it's wider. So I think that's what it's normally like. So you can do, I guess, a couple of things. You could take it to the ironing board, flatten it all out, and then fold it in half, and then give you two fairly decent sides, like that. Or you could do like someone must have done and just cut it in half, or you can use it like it is. And I think for this purpose, I'm just going to use it like it is. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball what length I need, just because I don't want to ever be so precise that I have to have my ends just so to get started. And then I'm going to put this on the paper, and I could do it that way, easy, right? But oh no, we're not going to do it the easy way. I'm going to put the paper up in that fold. That way it secures the edge of the paper. So one side of my bias tape on my page is going to have thin, and one side is going to be wider. But if you use a fairly large zigzag, you won't have to worry about that. I'm just sticking it out a little bit just because I want to make sure I cover the end. And since I'm using paper, of course, I can't pin it in place, and I don't want to be trying to do this while sewing. So paper clips make great pins for paper. So just get that fit on, and I hope I've been in frame this whole time. And I tried filming this earlier, and it wasn't a bad video, but I moved my sewing machine up, and you really couldn't see. So I thought, you know, I'm going to just try it sewing at a kind of a weird angle, and we'll see if you can see me sewing. There. Sometimes you get little folds and stuff in the bias tape, and it wants to fight you, but okay, one more pin. Let me grab it. I mean, paper clip. And there we go. Okay, now, yep, I think you can see me sew. All right, I'll get my scissors out of the way. I'm going to use a fairly wide zigzag stitch. I could use a wider one, but let's just use this one, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, here we go. If we don't lose the thread, we'll be good. And I got a trash can down here, I'm fighting. Okay. And on my machine, I can just kind of hold it, and it does stitching in the same place. So that's kind of my back stitch to start with. And you can see me sew, I think, fairly well, but I'm running into all the glue that's back behind here. And on this one, if you can see the stitching, I'm kind of straddling. Let me get the paper folded up. I don't have much room behind since I didn't move my machine forward. There we go. I'll show you what I mean by straddling the paper and the bias tape in a minute. All right, just going to backspace a little bit. And grab those scissors. Okay. So you can see I stitched half on the paper, half on the bias tape. That's what I meant by straddling it, just straddling that little edge there. So the reason I did that is because it captures the small, but also helps capture the wider better. So that's what it looks like on this side. So it just gives that edge of that paper just some stability and a different feel. And then of course we can go off, cut those ends off if we want. So anyway, I kind of like that. And it kind of, you can use this as a little tuck too if you wanted to. So let's do one more in case I didn't stay on frame very well. I just eyeball the length I need. It's going to be a little bit long. I'd much rather deal with that, you know, have a little bit of waste than have to just get it so precise at the ends. And then we just feed it onto that paper edge. Oops. Yep, I wanted to make sure I had the thin side on both sides and not a thick on one side and thin on the other. So I don't know if that made sense, but sometimes the paper wants to catch the threads. But you can eventually get it on there. See how it's catching that thread? We just got back from vacation and I'm not fully myself yet. Too many miles and too few days. But I just thought I'd get in here and mess around a little bit. Oops. Kind of helps when you put the paper clip on both sides of the paper. So this part takes a little bit of time, but you know, if you're not on camera and not standing up while you're doing it, it maybe won't take quite as long. But I wanted to make sure you can see what I'm doing in case I can't explain it very well. There we go. Okay, now to the sewing machine. And I don't know if I mentioned I have gray tape on, gray thread on top and some pinkish color on bottom. And that's just what I had on my machine. So, yeah, two different colors. And I'm just kind of running my stitch, half on the paper, half on the bias tape on this smaller side. Come on. And then when I get this far, I have to fold my paper up just because of I've got a shelf right behind the sewing machine with stuff on it. Not much room for your project to move to. Stitch a little bit. Make sure that needle's up. Okay, just gonna trim that off. And here we go. It's kind of hard to see the stitching on this because of the color of the picture, but there you can see I straddle both, so it captures it, but it also helps the side as well. And anyway, that's just my idea. It's just gonna a little something to finish off the page. And I had all this bias tape. I just got it at some yard sales or some estate sales. And anyway, that's what I'm working on. So I thank you for watching. Bye.